Oh, good evening, everybody. Are you like me right now? You don't know what hit you. Seriously. This stream might be sponsored by Men in Black. You know, all we need is that rod to forget about everything. It was two halves of, I don't know, it was a Manchester United that I was seeing in a quarterfinal, second leg. It was like watching a David Attenborough documentary about a snail's funeral, hence why we are kind of sponsored by Men in Black. It is sad to see that, we came so far only to throw it away. We were as open as the 6th Street shelter, giving away food for hungry people. Just open door policy. Just come in. The midfield was wide open. I don't know. I can rant, I can go, but we're here as a community to dissect the whole thing and call a spade a spade. I personally don't like to go in and slag players. It's not my thing. It's about Manchester United. I repeat, Manchester United. There was no men on that field. There was no leadership, according to my opinion. There was no chest to play for this thing, for this badge. And there was no cohesion. It is a sad day at the office, or it is a bad day at the office, some people might say is an expression. But in order to have a bad day at the office, you got to turn up to the office. And what's Botswana Pappi always say, none of them turn up to the office today. Erik ten Hag must be fuming. And most of our fan base is probably also fuming. And I got my scintillating panel in the background. We're talking about Botswana Pappi. We're talking about Phil Standish. And also we're going to be joined by Jay Daly and many, many more. Bear with us. Let's go. Let's get into this. Let's rip it in.
Has the Premier League ever been more challenging?
Right, well, I feel welcome. Dit is mijn home and I want to achieve success. Okay?
What the hell happened there, Phil? Erik ten Hag say, it's my home. I want to achieve success. What Erik ten Hag wanted today didn't correlate what the players wanted. Obviously, nobody was at. I don't know what happened. I've never seen such a bad performance by Manchester United in my whole life. Honestly to God, other than the 7-0 Liverpool. How do you feel, Phil?
I'm absolutely fuming. Absolutely fuming. I mean, normally after a game, I can sort of vent a little bit. I can think, well, we did this well. That went okay. That was unlucky. There was nothing unlucky about that. From the moment they kicked that first ball, they were in control. Almost from the moment, even before kickoff, Scholes and Hargreaves were saying about the fact they've never had an atmosphere like this. The crowd brought it tonight. They were a magnificent draw. We looked afraid. We were on the back foot from the first minute. I think I missed the first 30 seconds and they'd already hit the post or something like that at a corner and put it just gone over. And that set the tempo of the game and it never changed. We didn't turn up. And then the big names that you would normally associate to someone who could stand up and turn it around, get stuck in and make a difference. Casemiro, Eriksen, they're the main two ones I would shout out. They just, none of them were there tonight. I saw Casemiro jogging around the pitch in sort of the 20th minute. Eriksen, I don't think he hit one pass that's successful. His tackling was off. I'm guessing he's not match fit. I'm guessing that's the only thing we can put it down to, because it was awful. I think Casemiro was afraid to get another yellow card after missing so many games, and he played like he was afraid to get a yellow card.
And he ended up
until he got a yellow card, and then he
True.
could have been sent off at the end, and the referee just kind of went, "No, okay, I'm not going to send you off again." And so that was the only thing that went for us tonight, was the referee didn't send off Casemiro. But I'm sorry, but how did Acuna not get a yellow card for where he's shoving
Anthony?
At the very, very beginning of the game, Sabitzer into that. Into the side.
Sabitzer.
That was a yellow card. That was a yellow card offence.
He even hit his head on the cooler.
It wasn't red because if the cool box hadn't been there, he wouldn't have banged his head. But it was a yellow card straight off, and the referee should have said, "Look, let's get control of this game. There's a yellow card. We're not having none of that." and then got control of the game, and he didn't. And I think the first yellow card came in about the 38th minute, maybe even late. It might be in second half. I can't remember, but the referee was not with us at all in any way whatsoever, and that everything just went against us. Every second ball we missed. We didn't win one header from a corner. We didn't win 1 second tackle. We didn't win a first tackle. Our passing was off. Our alignment was off. Our defensive line, there was no cohesion.
Right.
Nothing. I could go on. I'm just
You
starting.
can go on.
Just starting.
You're just getting started. I see other people are just coming into the stream. I'm gonna pull them in one by one. I see Jay is already ready for bed as well. I can see him there. He's all wrapped in cotton wool. Jay Daly, welcome to the stream. You're looking very comfortable. You're all ready for bed. Pappi.
Hi guys, good evening.
Good evening, good night, sir.
There's levels to shit. There's normal shit, there's dog shit, and then there's a United performance in Europe against Sevilla. Concede 5 goals in 2 games is a team that's 13th in La Liga. A lot of the pundits were banging on about how important Harry Maguire would be tonight. What I think, if there was ever any doubt in one's mind that Maguire needs to go, I think tonight has got to be the tipping point performance. I have been an advocate of De Gea. First goal wasn't on him. Second, third goal, he's totally culpable. So that's going to add more fuel to the fire to the De Gea out brigade. My countryman Roy Keane always goes on about leadership and characters. And when you're playing away in Europe, in any round and even group stages, you need your characters, you need your leaders. Tonight, I saw no leadership in that pitch. I saw no characters. And to take up on Phil's point, and he's spot on, since Casemiro has been sent off twice this season, he's no longer hitting tackles the same intensity he once was. And I think at the end of the game tonight, the frustration Casemiro became very palatable. Sancho proved himself yet again to be an imposter in our club. Shouldn't be here. His second season, I think you got Kurt lost on him. Let him go. Eriksen, look, we all love Eriksen, but he was not fit enough to start. I think Casemiro should have. Sorry, not Casemiro. Fred should have started ahead of him. And to find a point to pick up on Phil, the ref set the tone when he didn't book Sevilla player whose name escapes me for that foul on SABITZER early on. Yeah, he did. That reset the tone. But look, Phil, you know how it is. We go away in Europe, we're not going to get any purchase from any referee. We rarely do. We're United. We need to make our own look. And people say, "Oh, look, the press life out of us." Well, where was the counter press? I didn't see it. Marcel again. People always refer to, oh, he doesn't get service, blah, blah, blah. But Marcel, Phil, Botswana, Pappi, and Mick, he just tonight demonstrated his weak mentality, weak, feeble-minded player. And if you want the ball, you come back in midfield, you demand the ball. Don't stay up front like a statue. And, you know, he's lauded for his hold-up play. Well, come back, get the ball, and do something. I think tonight, to a man, we were just very, very poor. There's no point in shouting and screaming and raving. Somebody sent me a WhatsApp message at full time, and it was a screenshot of Ajax 2, Spurs 3 in that semi-final of the Champions League back in 2019. So the question here, gentlemen, I'm going to ask you, and again, we put it into the chat, see if people comment. Was Ten Hag tonight found out?
I don't think so. Go on. Sorry,
just
go on,
just a question to ponder, Phil. That's all.
Yeah.
I can go. I don't think he was found out. He's basically, he's just playing with what he's got. basically. It's not his preferred squad, according to my opinion. I don't think the players were ready for it. I don't think they were mentally strong for this challenge. You know, they came and played in Sevilla, 45,000 crowd against 3,000 of Manchester United faithfuls. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't blame it on Erik ten Hag. I would say on the players, like, you know, is what Phil said. Like, you know, nothing clicked, nothing gelled. It was like you're turning in your car to the repair shop and they're doing calibration of, you know, they put in this instrument and everything comes out wrong. Nothing is working, right? Pistons is not working. Oil is leaking. Everything went just tits up, according to my opinion.
Okay, I'll take your point on players, right? I'm just watching here now, right? The scenes from Rome. Mourinho
riling up the crowd,
fist pumping the crowd, and winning 4-1 at home, and overcoming the deficit, and bringing Roma into semi-finals with a very limited budget, apart from Dybala and maybe Tammy Abraham, very limited squad, with on paper less players than Ten Hag has. Yet Jose found a way to the semi-final.
I certainly believe that, you know, in all fairness, in all positivity, I am as angry, but I'm not going to go and show my teeth, to be honest, right? All I'm saying is an opportunity missed. You know, the footballing gods was not on our side. If we had scored a 3-4-0 at home, we would have been a different story, right? We came there, we set up defensively. Now, according to my opinion, we never got up, and you know, we never got up in second gear in the first half because we were protecting Harry Maguire with a cotton wool, right? We got stuck in our own half, and we was open in the midfield like a open house, like free meal. Just come in, invade us.
Mick, right there, when you're talking about especially the midfield point, I feel like for me, Jay's question holds a little bit more water when you're looking at the fact that how we prepared for Nottingham Forest is very similar to how we prepared for this game. Our build-up play, the instructions, if you look at how we were trying to just start from the beginning, it had a little bit of a, of course, it's the players that are playing at the end of the day, but it feels like there was something that could have been done. We saw Christian Eriksen struggling a lot in the midfield. He's struggling by himself, and we know that Sabitzer is the person that maybe if you swap Eriksen and Sabitzer, maybe you might have a slightly different outcome. But Ten Hag just kept on letting the situation happen over and over again, and I was just kind of just watching, being like, Ten Hag, why are you gonna do something about this? And look at how Mourinho right now. If you just see how the El Shaarawy just scored for Roma, you know, you're seeing a little bit of like, Mourinho had to do some changes in the game later on. That it's not the tactics that he started with, and he still found a solution using the limited tools that he has. Of course, Ten Hag is really messed up right now. Having to take off Jadon Sancho at halftime means that you're really, really screwed because you don't have any other option in the bench that is of the same quality, you know, and you're definitely working with some players that are shell-shocked, and everybody was just not showing any desire. Maybe the only person that really worked hard, in my opinion, today was Anthony. But that wasn't even good enough. Who did you say? Somebody said somebody else.
Anthony.
Oh, you said Anthony too, Phil. Okay, yeah. That's the other person. That's the only person that I feel like put in a little bit of a shift. But if we had started with Fred, could be a maybe different game. If we had made a change to substitute somebody, put an extra person in the midfield, you know, I don't know. It's nice. It's easy to speak in retrospect, but I feel like there's something here that Ten Hag could have done tactically to go a little bit deeper and be a little bit more experimental and help the players, you know.
Point. Pappi, you're spot on. Just think, right? You're playing 4-3-3 at half time. You're getting smacked. It took us, I think, 44 minutes to even get a corner in the first half. Like, that's startling. So surely, like, none of us here have a UEFA Pro license, right? We just coach football to kids. Like that's all we do, most of us. So half time, 2-0 down, right? Your midfield's been overrun. I'm going 4-5-1. I'm packing that midfield.
Yep.
I'm shoring it up to ensure we don't concede again. Put another man in there, and just stop getting played through. Like, we can say Fred should have started over Exeter, yes. Shaw should have started over Maguire. It's ifs, buts, and maybes. I don't think lessons were learned for me from the first leg. Nothing was learned from the first leg, I don't think.
Oh, I'm just looking at the replays. The first goal going in, second goal, the fans is just staying there, shaking their head. You know, at the end of the day, going back to you, Jay, I think when I think about it, yeah, maybe he tinkered too much. Maybe he overthought things a little bit too much. I personally would haven't started Harry Maguire at all. I would have started Luke Shaw, the left-sided centre back. But we even saw he was tinkering, switching. Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Dalot. You know, all of a sudden you saw Aaron Wan-Bissaka playing left-sided, you know, wing, and it was capitulating. Nothing was working. But guys, I'm going to throw it back to you. We cannot sit here and talk negative. Like, in retrospective, what do you think we could have done better if we speak about changes that could have made?
Turned up.
Fact.
Yeah. Pappi, bad day at the office.
Fred. I would have wanted to see Fred in the midfield.
I think the problem for me is, so like Sabitzer last week, he was the surprise to the game, wasn't he? Nobody expected him to come out the traps and get 2 goals, and they didn't expect it. The fans didn't expect it. So when he did, it was like, wow, that worked. Let's do that again. And I said in the pre-show that I don't even remember, Mick, I said Sabitzer might get found out tonight because they've already seen what he did last time. They ain't going to let that happen again. And they didn't. They absolutely did not let him play. Sabitzer, honestly, you could have changed probably 3/4 of that team and at half-time if you were allowed that many changes, because we just looked like we had no control. You could that second goal went in and it was ruled out for VAR. That was our lifeline. That was our opportunity to go away and go, right, okay,
warning shot.
Yeah, let's come back and let's do it. But I mean, like yourself, I do not get at the players. I'm not one of those who comes on screen and
that's why I said it was like watching
tonight. To De Gea tonight, I've backed him all the way, and I still think he is an amazing shot stopper. I don't think anyone will ever take that away from him. And he proved it again, even with that one where he dove out to the bottom left corner to tip it round. But the thing is, he looked nervous. He looked afraid. He looked like he was, am I going to come for this ball? Am I going to jump for it? He didn't. His movement and organisation as a goalkeeper is shocking. He should be saying, push out. He should be saying, he's got the ball in his hand. He's got control of the box. He's got his defenders around him. He has the right to be able to say, push out. I'm not okay with this moment. Right. It's not working from the back. We were the first time we were really, really destroyed playing out from the back. We've had it all season, but really destroyed was Newcastle. And if you watch, they did that. They've started doing that game after game. They play 3-4 at the front and press the players so hard that they make mistakes. Well played to Newcastle, but Villa saw past it. And all they did, they got one out to the left, and then they played a long pass right round the back of the defence because they played it through the all the players were already up front. And that's what Sevilla did to us tonight. They did that to us. They were playing the ball right round. They played one pass, I can't remember who it was, from the left back, right round the whole of our midfield, right into our right back position, and they were in on goal. One ball, and it was like that the whole night. Everything.
We got stuck. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. I was watching the crowd bouncing like they're being the 13th wheel. Honestly, they were up for it. Like, you know, we were weak mentality. We couldn't get out of that shock in the first place. You know,
yeah, but you keep saying about the mentality, and Jay said about Ten Hag, he's the one who's got to get them mentally ready for the game. So if he has failed, that's where he's failed for me tonight. In line with what Jay was saying, he didn't have them mentally ready for that game. If we're saying they fail mentally,
but physically, going back to Sabitzer and everything else, in all fairness, right? There's a lot of people that came back from injuries, like, you know, Sabitzer was off injured, right?
Yeah.
So he was not really match ready. Luke Shaw was not really match ready.
Yeah.
You saw Marcel went off with a I don't know what it was this time, ankle or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So basically, players were limping on one leg. Half of the team or 3/4 of a team, right? But still, this is quarterfinal, second leg. You don't get another chance. Like, you've blown it away. You've blown it, basically. There was no fight. There was no grit. There was no determination, and that's it.
Yeah, the game was lost last week, wasn't it?
It was. It was. Because
we had
you know
the chance,
what?
3-4-0 up, and it never happened.
You never play
Phil,
with karma.
Just think, right? You said game was lost last week. I agree. The game was lost last week when Ten Hag took off Bruno Fernandes.
Yep.
Bruno Fernandes was having one of his best games of the season. Okay, you're on a yellow. So what? You're not playing second leg. You're playing the weekend. Fernandes has proven time and time again he will play from minute 0 to minute 95 and give his all. We don't always agree with, his performance every game, but you're going to get a performance. We know he's a leader, and he will shout and bawl at everybody around him. Tonight, there was no player doing that tonight. Nobody. So that tie was lost last week at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
And then to add insult to injury, when Martins got injured, his subs were on the pitch. So logic would dictate that you don't put on your 5 subs with 10 minutes to go, just in case. So that was lost last week for me, Phil. Not tonight.
Yeah. I agree with you, Jay. There, I absolutely agree with you. It was on Ten Hag, absolutely. But I was saying that karma. You never play around with faith and karma, and the footballing gods and whatever you might believe in. Because we were clearly obvious up 2-0. We could have been 3-4-0 up, and if we only had scored those extra goals, if only, I repeat, if only. But the sheer misfortune, to be honest, that Harry Maguire hit him in his face and the ball went in, and Malacia and all that again. And to start off the game again within the first 5 minutes, I mean, I'm talking about David De Gea passing the ball to Maguire. Maguire clearly asking for the ball, right? And BT were not shut up about it. BT Sports, they went on for 15, 20 minutes. Couldn't believe it. I think it was Robbie Savage who was saying
it was,
it was Robbie Savage trying to, typical English bias to say to protect Harry Maguire, because the whole team was protecting Harry Maguire, according to my opinion. We didn't play the Erik Ten Hag style of football because the team was looking back and saying, oh, do we dare? Do we trust it? But one thing that I noticed, as soon as Harry Maguire is playing with David De Gea, they never have any clear communication. There's no understanding. This happens so many times before, right? These mispasses and stuff like that. So that clearly doesn't work. And I'm sorry to say, I keep my powder dry. I don't like to slag the team. I am supporter of the team. I'm supporter of the badge. I'm supporter of the club. But if you're not good enough to play for this badge, you shouldn't be there, right? And there's certain players that showed that they are not Manchester United players. They're not cut for this badge, according to my opinion. And one of them, for me, is absolutely Harry Maguire. I'm sorry, Harry, you got to go. Time's up.
I just want to pick up for a second, if you indulge me, on the English media bias. At half-time, I'm watching it on Virgin Media here in Ireland, and they had Richard Dunn, former Ireland captain and also played for Man City, in their analysis. He blamed Maguire 100% for that.
Yeah,
100%. So the difference between a mediocre Welsh player in Robbie Savage vis-a-vis a former captain of Ireland who plays centre back, he blamed Maguire 100%. So I know, Mick, it's not your style to call out players, but it is mine. I've been calling out Maguire for 3 years. Should be the club.
I'm getting on your bandwagon now. I'm absolutely pissed off, And you're supposed to be club captain, like you only lifted that trophy because you're the fake club captain, right? The real captain, according to me, is Bruno Fernandes, and Bruno, the real captain, was missing, and we clearly saw what Bruno means to this team. I don't know if you agree with that, but this is the truth bomb. Pappi.
It's clear that there is no connective tissue from the midfield to the striking force. Like, I mean, partially like what we were talking about earlier on. It's like, okay, Martial is non-existent in the game, but also partially Martial is trying to occupy a position and hold that position for the formation. So but the problem is the ball will never come to Martial at the right moment because Bruno is not there. Christian Eriksen, he can see if you make sure that Christian Eriksen does not have enough space, then you've pretty much nullified the main weapon of how to get the ball from the back to the front for Manchester United. So it's one of those things where I just feel like we were found out today because we did not have our heartbeat. And Manchester United is so, would like it or not, any fan that does not like this, whatever, Bruno Fernandes is an integral part of our attacking rhythm. That's how it goes.
It is. It's what you said. If like, if Bruno is the brain, what did you say? You said something about analogy.
Oh, I remember that analogy a long time ago. Yeah, I don't want to go into the body anatomy right now. I can't remember.
But there was disconnect between the brain
head,
and
Bruno is the neck. Maybe Casemiro is the spine, and something like that. Something along those lines. Yeah,
it must be done something wrong in the surgery today with the doctors, I guess, because that was missing, to be honest. Yeah, but clearly, like, for everyone that keeps slugging Bruno Fernandes, like, you clearly saw that something was missing today. I mean, there was no balls to even Anthony. There was no balls in the first half or the second half to play through even to Martial. So what are they supposed to do? Live on scraps? We even saw that Martial came to play deep to actually collect the ball like a typical Harry Kane does when he doesn't get service, So it was like collectively very, very bad. I can't say it anymore. I call a spade a spade. We didn't deserve it. This is clearly like, Sevilla's cup, is what we said. But I think that most of the United faithfuls and supporters was confident. I was a little bit nervous, to be honest. I was nervous. I cannot lie. I was very, very nervous because I saw that possibilities was there for a slip up. And it is what it is, but we have to pick us up. There's a semi-final on Sunday, FA Cup, Wembley, right? And usually what happens if we have a stinker, we go on and win the next. Thoughts?
Yeah, I think partially this is a shake-up that we needed, a wake-up call that we needed. And I think we're actually going to now, because of this loss, secure the FA Cup. We will go further than, there's something about this that will definitely make us remember that, we've been riding a false euphoria. I've been kind of a little bit curious where the Ten Hag, every coach, when every coach comes in, there's a honeymoon period, but our honeymoon period has not been really clear because we started off with 2 losses at the beginning of the season. So it could have been like our honeymoon started after that second loss, and then we went on a very good run and we were very good defensively, more than offensively. And then, we had a shake up along the way. But it feels like right now we're just on our dying legs. So much injury, so much uncertainty. But at the end of the day, I feel like it might have been the result that we needed to make sure that we have a firmer grip on the FA Cup.
Yeah. Listen, I got to go to the comments as well. We've been talking and ranting. It's never easy because we have to pick up the scraps while we're losing. It's never easy to come on and do a post-match reaction show when you're losing. But we are in it for rain, shine, thunderstorm. We love our club. We cannot always win. As I always say, if you're McGregor, you go on 12 rounds, MMA fighting. Of course, you're going to get knocked down, but the important thing is how we're going to bounce back on Sunday. And that's the most important thing. We just have to dust it off and focus on the next game. Yeah, that's the thing. The treble is gone, and we got to make sure that we stop City to win a treble, but make it all the way to the finals, right, in the FA Cup. But just going to go. Nice sned on evening, lads. Niall is also saying Maguire had a caveman mentality moment on the first goal. De Gea was disappointing in a goal, especially the third goal, and Martial farted an injury himself. Yeah. Yeah, that's calling a spade now. It's absolutely what is true. Like, Jay, what do you reckon about Niall's comment?
Yeah, I would agree with every syllable there that Niall has said. Like, we can go on about Maguire all night. I'm not going to give that asshole any more airtime. And so I defended De Gea time and time again. Third goal, I think David really, I'm in a bed, but David shit the bed for the third goal. And Martial farted, injured himself. Look, Martial had an opportunity to learn how to play centre forward from none other than Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Threw his titles out of the pram, sulked, didn't want to know. He had an opportunity to learn how to centre forward from Ronaldo, didn't want to know. So Martial is another player, along with Maguire, that is stealing a wage and needs to get out of the club. And to your point, Mick, about, it's all a night, move on. I'm sorry, Mick, but it's not a case of just moving on. I can cope losing, but it's the manner in which you lose. And that tonight was an utter capitulation tonight. To a man, we capitulated. And I don't know, can we, as you said, magically pick ourselves up and play Brighton on Sunday in the wide open spaces at Wembley? The only thing in our favour is Maguire doesn't start.
Yeah,
that's the only thing in our
he's
favour.
Suspended. That's it. He will not start. So.
Yeah, we have Bruno back. Fantastic, super. If you saw into the game, Shaw looked as if he picked up a knock towards the end of that game. He looked quote unquote, the phrase used, the commentators used, leggy. He looked, he was carrying a knock. So hypothetically, if Shaw isn't fit to play on Sunday, then who partners Lindelof at centre back? That's going to be a major concern. You could see if Shaw is injured again, you could end up having Casemiro play at the back. That then leaves you with a midfield of Fred, Sabitzer, and Bruno Fernandes in the 10. And then you have the other issue then, Sancho. Sancho has been abysmal for the last 8 weeks, but because he's English, the media don't call it out. So I would drop Sancho. And then would you give then one young lad a chance to come in, prove themselves Wembley? I certainly would. I'd drop Sancho as well.
Niall is also saying that the squad didn't show professionalism and standards expected by Manchester United and us fans, 100%. But coming back to you regarding Sancho, I think the jury's out. Like, I've been, how long is a piece of string? That's the question, right? We bought him. He hasn't really worked out. I don't know where his mind is. I'm not going to slag Sancho. I like Sancho. But is there a player in him? Is there patience? Because I haven't seen much of Sancho to say that you deserve a spot, right? I think even that Garnacho, when Garnacho is back, that he's a better left winger than Sancho at the moment, right? I don't know if you agree with me, Pappi.
Oh, totally.
I know that Standish loves Sancho and he's got his shirt and everything, but you got to look at the squad and you got to look at what's best for the club. I don't have any favorite players, never didn't have. Of course, Roy Keane and all of them just back in the days, right? But at this moment of time, for me, it's a collective team because we need to get over the line. We need to start winning, right? So that's the way I see it. Like, somebody said, Adele, welcome to the chat. I don't think David Moyes has found out that the level of intensity on the pitch. How can Ten Hag be found in the first leg with the way we moved for the first goals and then conceded that like that? Good point. You have to excuse me. I'm dyslexic, so it takes a little bit of time to read some messages. I'm like Terry Lewis with the same dyslexic people. John O'Neill saying, big up John O'Neill, welcome. Not sure about Ten Hag being found out. Yeah, I already, right? No, Did I read this? No, sorry. Not sure if Ten Hag being found out, but most of that team showing the true colors yet again and again. Ayush Jill, how you doing, mate? All the way from India. I said it earlier. David De Gea never failed to support his Spanish brothers from the other teams.
Wow.
Ayush, always love your humor. Yeah, it's true. I don't know. I'm a big De Gea supporter. Never slag De Gea, but today nobody was at the races. Absolutely nobody. But it is what it is, guys. We just have to move on, focus on Sunday, make sure that we win that semi-final so we actually can go to the finals at the Wembley. And I'm sure we're going to get City in the finals. I'm sure we're going to knock them out. But yeah, at this pace, what they're looking at right now, I doubt even if we can pass Brighton, because Brighton to me has been looking very, very sharp lately. Guys, any thoughts about semi-final? Are we in big trouble? Big Pappi?
I mean, I gave pretty much my thoughts about that, saying that I feel like we're in better shape for the semi-final than before. Had we gotten a scrape victory here that we don't deserve, right now this team needs a reality check. The whole fan base needs a reality check, and we're in the moment that we need, because the wake-up call from today is going to give us more steam for the FA Cup. That is my call. That's my prediction.
Jay, your final rant before we close the shop.
I thought we were going to get a whip call after the embarrassment getting smacked 7-0 by Liverpool.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for the action, Pappi. Still waiting for it, my friend.
Right. The wake-up calls have been coming in, and them guys are not waking up.
You know what they're like. You know what they're like, right? They're like the teenager that you cannot get out of bed at weekends. You call them, because I've got a daughter. She's 14, right? And come weekends, trying to get her out of bed. You call her 10 o'clock. It's 10:30. Doesn't get up. Wake up call. 12:30, 1:45, 2 o'clock. She's still in bed. So this team is like a teenager that just does not respond to wake up call.
I have a rant to say, and I thought about this the other day. Somebody said, I think it was you, Pappi, that said, if what did you say? If Casemiro has a baby with Eriksen, it becomes Sabitzer, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But they had to probably adopt him away today because he was not at the game. They gave him away to the orphanage, but he's a loanee anyway. But I think Sabitzer is a good player. Obviously, he just came back from injury. I don't know. I'm not going to slag anyone, but I have a rant for you as well. Let's face it. If Harry Maguire has a baby with Metallica, the baby will be headbanging. I'm sorry. We got to have a little bit positivity because it's been sheer dire 90 minutes. Guys, thank you for sticking with us. I think we should call it quits. See you Sunday, guys, I guess, if everyone is around. It is crucial. We have to go through to the finals. We got to stop City. But we're out of one competition. We won one silverware. We look leggy. I mean, I'm positive in a way that, there is a pattern. There is a pattern. Because everyone we've been whooped, like from Liverpool, we had a bounce back. Now we've been whooped again, and I do expect a response. I think that Erik Ten Hag will go in hard on the players to say, guys, one final push, right? We're sitting quite okay in the league, third spot, with a quite cushion, but now is not the time to relax. That's what I'm saying. I don't care the players. If you crawl on one leg, 3 legs, come in on a wheelchair, just get it over the line. Finish the league strong and get us another trophy. Guys, what do you think?
That's what it's about from here. It's about the final finish. Nobody remembers how you started or how it was in the middle. It's about how you end, and it's exactly that, Mick. finish strong. That's the motto that we're on right now. There's an injury crisis going on. Ten Hag is trying to put this fire out. Another fire comes on, trying to put this. I was just like, everything is going wrong for Manchester United right now. I'm waiting for Rashford to be touching his groin again, and then, then the next thing, like, that didn't happen. I was like, at least we have something to look forward to. That's why I'm a little bit more optimistic about Sunday. So let's finish strong.
Let's finish strong. Ayush, final question to you, Jay. Are you a UFC player? You're pumped up.
UFC, not UFC, but I did win some bodybuilding shows in my time.
Yes, you did. I know. He's also having another question. You look like a center back from a championship.
Hey, I'm in my 40s. I still do a better job than Harry Maguire.
Let's recruit Jay in as center back. Let's replace Harry Maguire as a center back. Guys, thank you for coming in. Thank you for supporting us. It's been not easy. It is never easy to do this show when we lose, but it's more fun when we win. Guys, like and subscribe. See you on Sunday, and just go to sleep and we'll wake up fresh. Thank you, Jay. You look like you're ready for bed.
I am. I'm up at 6 a.m., so ready for bed.
Fantastic. Pappi, see you tomorrow on the happy hour, mate. And
see you on the happy hour.
Have a good day, sir. Guys.
Peace out, guys.
See us. Bye for now.
Bye, guys. Good night, chaps.
Thank you so much for stopping by and watching Mufc Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.